poem for you named My Sister. My sister, they have set limitations for us. They have said it's impossible, and they say it can never be done by girls. But I am here with a different chapter of the same book, My Sister. Life is what you make it. Life is full of benefits, opportunities, and at the same time obstacles. You're going to meet people who are going to persistently remind you of the things that you failed yesterday, people who are going to tell you that it's impossible, and people who are going to tell you it can never be done by girls. But I am here, my sister, to tell you that whenever they bring that topic to the table, I want you to stand up to them and be firm and tell them, you know what, yes, I failed. Yes, I made the mistake, but that was yesterday. My sister, forget the past mistake, forget everything else except what you're going to do now, and do it, for we learn from our mistakes. Indeed, it is true to a great extent we learn from our mistakes, but the question is, must we make all the mistake in life all in the name of learning? No, learn from other people's mistakes. My sister, do not worry if you cannot do what I can do best, for we all have fingerprints, but different ones. That means we all have talents, but different ones. The idea is to find yours and know how to do it best and produce the best result. My sister, again, do not be disheartened when you fail, because sometimes we fail, but we would have done our best. My sister, if it is life, it's what you make it. I have learned from one of the greatest motivational speakers, MADZINZA, once said, leader, know thyself. And I'm here to tell you, sister, know thyself. Thank you.
Tiger Life International is working with girls and women with the aim of empowering them on leadership skills. Training programs were done so that women and girls take it upon themselves to aspire for leadership positions.
The LEMS program is a program that raises girls and young women to participate in public life. We realize that there is not as many women who are running for public offices, be it in business, be it in civil society, who are not occupying positions of leadership. We also consider spaces like political participation. Even financially, looking at how many women are CEOs, how many women, are high leaders, directors.
On our program, Leadership, Economic and Mentorship Hubs, we train girls and young women from the ages of 16 to 24 from different areas. We train these girls on different thematic areas, which include sexual reproductive health, political participation, gender-based violence, ICT. We also train them on financial literacy. We also train them on self-awareness. We also train them on environment and climate change.
The aim was to empower women to become young leaders who would go back into their community to also teach other women out there, empower them on ways of advocating for themselves, even in political spheres, and to be able to stand up for themselves.
The Leadership, Mentorship, Economic Hubs was a training that impacted young women and girls to be leaders in their respective communities. So this training helped me a lot as it boosted my confidence as a young leader.
Is a program that is initiated by Tiger Life International, mainly to capacitate females so that they will be able to take up spaces and develop an agency to be change makers within their societies or constituencies that they aspire to make a change. So personally, for me, it capacitated me enough to be able to take up leadership, especially in a male-dominated space, after the 10-day workshop.
The Leadership, Economic and Mentorship Hubs is a one-year training program with the aim of building girls and young women's voice. The training program has brought about positive developments since inception.
Before I was trained, I was someone who was not confident. I could not speak up for myself, but afterwards I'm now able to stand up for myself, and I'm now able to even advocate for other women out there. So it's a very important program that we get trained and also be able to impact the knowledge we get out to other girls out there.
This project is very, very important to our girls and young women because it is there to empower them and to equip them with much knowledge and with much confidence to go back to their different communities or areas to advocate and also to raise awareness. Because we train them also on, after we do the 10-day training, these ladies are expected to go back to their community to do a year project that is engaging their local leaders on raising awareness on different thematic areas that I have talked about before. So it is important as it gives them enough courage and enough confidence to take up leadership roles, like you have heard from other ladies who were here talking about taking leadership roles on political participation at UZ. Some of them have started their own business. Some of them are now into poetry and their confidence has also improved. Some of them, they now have a vision of what they want to do.
After the training, I've realized that there are so many women in leadership, and due to that, I noticed that I can be a leader. So because during the training we were focusing on 6 thematic areas, including financial literacy, sexual and reproductive health, and we see that many young women and girls are being victims of gender-based violence from their communities. So after being taught about that and financial literacy, when I was taught that as a young leader, you can do things on your own after being trained, after being equipped with financial literacy.
Some of the positive developments of the Leadership Economic Mentorship Hubs, the LEMS program that we're running, is that we have seen girls running for office. For example, we have seen some of our young women running for office or positions of leadership at universities. For the first time at the University of Zimbabwe, Anna Sunday, one of our young women who ran for a leadership position, occupied the communications position that had never been occupied by a woman since the university started in 1952. So we see such important outcomes.
I went back to the University of Zimbabwe, where I contested to become one of the few females who were contesting to get a space to influence, especially those areas where decisions are made.
But that was yesterday. My sister, forget the past mistake, forget everything else, except what you're going to do now, and do it.
The LEMS program really helped me to a great extent. First and foremost, it helped me to boost my confidence and actually have self-esteem in myself. And it helped me to realize my passion in life, which I then realized that I am more for advocating for women and children. Basically, if it's for children, the education side.
The patriarchal nature of our society has molded the notion that women cannot be in leadership position. It is important to have mentorship and training programs with young women and girls so that they take up leadership roles.
The societies that we are coming from are being ruled by the patriarchy, like it's a patriarchal society. So if we have a chance to have these trainings as young females, we can be impacted with knowledge and the courage to be leaders in our societies.
The patriarchal society in which we are socialized into, especially young women, there are certain values that the society impose or expect from us, and one of them is not being able to speak up when you're supposed to. That takes away the leadership in us, the leadership component, the ability to stand out and speak out. So, and there's many practices that happen in our society that eliminate women from the decision table. So it is also a contributing factor.
Some of the future plans that we have as an organization is to be able to see girls taking up leadership roles, to participate in the politics, to participate in the policy making, to participate in the governance issues. So therefore, in the future, we wish to see our different girls taking such steps to contribute in the society.
Zimbabwe is a highly patriarchal country, and patriarchal dominance is the order of the day in this country. Most of the people growing up, the idea of a hero or a leader is a man or a male figure, because that is what they grow up being accustomed to. A girl child will usually be closer to the father, and they are treated with kids' gloves to the extent that they are not even allowed to leave the house before they get married, no matter how educated they are. So in that context, a girl child grows up knowing that the father is the head of the house and the father is the leader, and their idea of leadership and heroism lies in the manhood, in the patriarchal structures that have been defined over centuries in Zimbabwe and Africa as a whole. So you'll find that it becomes difficult to even build confidence of young women that they are actually leaders and that they can lead. But in our own African culture, before it was distorted by colonialism, a woman was the epitome of leadership in the family. That is why we still have sayings like musha mukadzi, nyika mukadzi, because they appreciated the leadership value and the role of a woman in the family structure and in a community. Hakuna hondo chaiyo yaenda kunorwiwa kana varume vaienda kuhondo pasati pagara dare madzitete abvuma kuti aiwa varume vedunhu rino vakuenda kuhondo. All that came and was distorted by colonialism, was distorted by the religion that the white men came and gave us as African people. So it is important for us as African people to be able to retrace our roots, to find the value of the woman before colonialism that made a woman an important leadership role figure in a family, in a community, and in a country. As long as we do not relate with our history, with who we are as a people, we will still find challenges in making sure that women step up to leadership positions politically, economically, and socially. So it is important for us to be able to retrace our culture and also appreciate the fact why the woman is the one who's paid lobola for, and why we even pay mombe umai. It shows how important and precious a woman is in our communities and in our social livelihoods.
The sixth thematic areas of the training have empowered women and girls. Financial literacy is one key area which is of major importance to every leader, and the training workshop catered for that.
So financial literacy is important, especially to young women and girls, because we see that in the societies that we come from, young women are being abused due to lack of finances. Let's say I'm trained I'm equipped with the information on financial literacy. After that, I got back home and I started doing manicure, pedicure, and I do tutorials as well. It is due to that training, and now I can be able to raise money for myself. I don't depend on anyone. I don't let even my boyfriend abuse me because I want money for nails, for hairstyle or what. So it was an impactful thing.
And another thing is financial incapacitation. Not all women are financially stable. Elections require resources, and most of them are financial. You need posters, you need fuel, you need labor, and quite a number of things.
The training program is meant to effect change in the communities that the women and girls reside.
So what I'm doing now, I want to equip other young people. I'm from Epworth, so other young women and girls from Epworth with skills of the hands, so that they can stand for themselves, they can provide for themselves. So what I'm doing right now, I'm actually doing tutorials to the young women and girls for less cost, which is helping young women and girls in my community.
There are a number of factors that contribute to women not being able to fully participate in political things. One of them is the political nature of our Zimbabwean politics, and it is also reflective in our SRC elections. The issue of political violence perpetuated by different members who may have interest in the election. I remember when I was running my SRC election, some of my posters were torn down, as few as they were. I was heartbroken. Physical violence was all over. Let us not be gatekeepers. Let us mentor other young women or other female leaders so that they are prepared for what is to come, especially using the experiences that we have gathered so far. So for me, the change that I intend is to make sure that we preserve the gains. I became the first SRC's female spokesperson. I will be very glad if we are able to maintain that pace moving forward.
Very few women are entering into politics. The LEMH's program is meant to empower women and girls to be confident so that they can take up leadership positions in a male-dominated field.
Why we have few women, entering leadership platforms is because of the religious cultural practices that I spoke about earlier, where usually girls and women are raised to just be homemakers, to just go to school, come back, get married, and that's it. But what we're saying is we want the young women who are, actual citizens themselves, who are complete citizens, who can participate, who can ask questions, who can offer themselves as solutions. If there are problems in the community, they can actually come and be solutions oriented.
So from my community experience and the way that I'm seeing things going in my community, I feel like women, we hesitate, or most of them are hesitating to engage into leadership because of the fear that the society has structured that women cannot do it, to the extent that women are actually believing that really they cannot do it. But I am here to tell them that women, we are also human beings, and we are also capable of doing mighty things that men are as well doing. So I really encourage women not to step back, but to actually push themselves and to actually engage also in leadership activities and realizing their potentials. And even if there is no chair to the table, I advise the women to actually bring the chair to themselves, even to actually bring the table itself. We are also great and we are also capable. We are all human beings, and I really see and I really feel that there's a lot women can do, there's a lot that female can contribute to the nation, because I as well, talking from experience, I've realized that I have got a lot of potential that I didn't know, but with the help of this program, I've realized that as I am a female as well, I can really do great as well. The LEMS program really helped me to a great extent. First and foremost, it helped me to boost my confidence and actually have self-esteem in myself, and it helped me to realize my passion in life, which I then realized that I am more for advocating for women and children. Basically, if it's for children, the education side.
It is very, very important to have women as leaders, because the women, they advocate for love, they advocate for unity. Yes, of course, I can't say there's no corruption which can be aligned with women, but corruption, to tell the truth, it's more of the female of the men environment. Female candidates, or I can say female at large, they don't have that mindset of getting into corruption, making things not flow like what men are advocating to have.
We get a testimony from a woman who participated in the recently held by-elections, as she gives us an insight of how women are viewed in the political arena.
Women, they they take positions in leadership and the political space. But the only hurdle which I think will be there is about the perception and the mindset of people that if we choose a woman, for example, the woman cannot make a decision. It's in people's mind. But honestly speaking, when we choose women to be in leadership position, women can make decisions. Women, I can equate them with a tea bag. You only know how strong the tea bag is when the tea bag is in the hot water.
I think there are few women entering into politics. Firstly, it starts with us women lacking support for each other. Women, we lack support for each other. We are the ones who look down upon each other, who do not stand by each other. Therefore, that gives women less confidence to take up political leadership. As well, we look at the structures, how the structures is like the male domination, the patriarchy, and all that. So, the male domination will not give enough room for women to take up leadership or political duties.
We need to do away with these defined gender roles which downgrade a woman to just being a person who has to be dealing with house chores, who has to be dealing with childbearing, who has to be dealing of taking care of her husband. It is unfortunate that every girl child is trained or grows up to become a perfect wife. There's no woman or girl child who is trained to become a perfect leader. So that conscientization, that training needs to start at the family level. When we remove the gender roles, we will grow our children as equals and we will be able to attain the gender equality that we are always crying about, which is enshrined in Section 17 of the Constitution of Zimbabwe. But if we continue propping up the male child against the girl child, we will continue having these disparities when it comes to women in leadership. And we'll always find other women being the patriarchal gatekeepers who insult other women who want to get into leadership because in their own minds, they've been defined that their duty and the role is just to bear children, go to work and take care of their husbands. Leadership is inclusive, holistically inclusive. Because if we look at the problems that are affecting people worldwide, women have got a heavier burden in dealing with issues, to deal with poverty, to deal with exclusion, to deal with even having space politically, in political parties, in governance issues. It is still a struggle because the moment you want to say to yourself, I want to be a political leader, I want to be a civic leader, your own family will be the first ones to castigate you and say, as if being married is an achievement in life.
So to me, women can take leadership positions without any problems. And I want to applaud our party to tell the truth. When we were being supported, they were not looking at whether you are a male contestant or you are a female. We were receiving equality, we were receiving same treatment. And I want to applaud that for the ruling party. They were not seeing whether you are a woman or a man. So by doing so, receiving same treatment, you have power to say, okay, I have people who are also backing me, so I can do it. And we have confidence in everything that we are doing.